Hi everyone. I would like to share with you one of my most favorite and practical exercises, alarm clocks, work on being, that is designed to actually diminish our unnecessary self-created suffering. We have two types of suffering in our life, as the sages talk about. There's the real suffering, unavoidable part of the human condition, connected to getting sick, getting old, hardship, loss, war, poverty, and the process of dying. And so that's unavoidable, that's embedded in our human existence, and it's necessary. But a large amount of everybody's suffering, the large majority of our usual garden variety suffering, is self-created, optional. We do it to ourselves, basically. And part of the earlier and middle stages of the work is to wake up, get more aware, more conscious, and observe what's really happening. These machinations and these loops of thought and feeling, obsessions and daydreaming, identification, churning on some untruths. So most of our suffering is this type of unnecessary self-created, and this exercise is targeting this area. So first of all, we become more aware of what that type of unnecessary, optional, self-created suffering is. And then we use that. Usually when we go into that, we are falling asleep and identified and reactive and some type of misery. So we use that type of misery and obsession and charged energy. We use it to practice. Yeah, so this is work on being. It's not just when we are, it's a peaceful and it's like walking in a nice park and all of that. So work on actual being, not just theory and philosophy. Also, this exercise that I'm going to share is designed to combat the state of daydreaming, lost in uncontrolled mind activity, that unattended, the mind goes on different lanes of the inner city, and then sooner or later end up on a well-trodden, turmoiled misery lane. So it's designed to short-circuit walking on a misery lane and bringing us back to here and now, being present to ourselves, to the thoughts, to the feelings, to the outer reality, being present to the breath, being present to the fact of being aware. All right, so without any further ado, here's the exercise. We all have some type of recurring thoughts that are not pleasant and that are not useful. It is sometimes they are called velcro thoughts. They are also called favorite subjects of identification and imagination. Basically, we have millions of thoughts every day about various things, but they are on some subjects in particular, where we loop into this state of somehow walking or driving, and somehow awareness lapses from being there, or was never really there. We are used to this state. That's our normal state. And somehow we are like not aware of what's happening, and then this comes up and we think about this and we think about this and we think about this and trying to solve it, or well-trodden grooves, mechanical grooves of sleep, of suffering. And so the exercise is to, first of all, identify what this area of looping, of velcroing. When I say velcro, it's a velcro state. This subject comes up, there's some image or some voice or thought, and then there is identification. Like the presence is sucked into it, and the wheels are spinning, And then very likely these are not neutral thoughts. They have an emotional charge. They have certain bodily sensation, certain feeling. So we keep going into this torturous loop. So the exercise, first of all, identify what is this torturous loop for you. The secret trap door where you fall. I just had a group yesterday, and then we helped them identify for each one of them. So I'll give you some examples, then you can find your own. Example would be like, I keep worrying about my adult children. I keep worrying about them and if they are going to make it and it's going to be okay. All kind of things may happen to them, bad things may happen to them. Yeah, this is called in the fourth way negative imagination. Yeah, catastrophizing. And so that's a very good example. Another example is, let's say somebody is very competent, professional, but then goes to work and goes about the day and keeps popping up this thing, oh, no, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. I'm imposter syndrome. Various thoughts about not good enough, not of some type. Another subject would be depends of the person, of the sex, of the stage of life, of various configuration. Another subject will be looking for a partner. Need to find a partner. Looking for a partner, or looking for sex, for a mate. And there are thoughts about sex or about partner, and then keeps going like this in a state of frustration, excitement, lack. Yeah. Another one would be worrying about money. What I'm going to do. Money. It's legitimate. We need to make money, but this looping about money all the time in this obsessive way, or another one is the AI is going to take over the world, and it's going to be bad, and it's happening, is all kind of stuff about the government, about your health, and worried about your health or some future thing. So anyway, give you plenty of example. My recommendation is to even pause this video now and take a few minutes and find what is your velcro loop. You know it. So you're churning on some recurring thing. What is that? What's the most recurring subject of daydreaming? Trying to solve it. On what topic? What are the most recurring thoughts about me? If you have, self-pity thoughts or self-deprecation thoughts, self-hatred thoughts, these are very good candidates. But take a moment, pause this video and see what are the most recurring thoughts, what are the most recurring unpleasant thoughts, negative thoughts, and what are the most recurring unpleasant emotions that you have about yourself or about the world. It could be fear. Fear is one of them. Worry. All right, so now you have it. So the exercise is to simply, for the next 2 weeks, have the aim. You can even write it down somewhere. Write it, a sticky note, or put a bracelet that you don't usually have, or a ring that you don't have, put it on another finger, and have a firm aim that whenever this state comes up, whenever this loop comes up, you are going to notice, you're going to catch it, and then you don't consent to it anymore. You don't consent to entertaining these thoughts. You just let it die. But in order to do that, you need to really take a few deep breaths and harness all your superpower, your attention, your presence into the now. So don't go into thoughts. Take a few deep breaths. Get more present. Feel the 2 poles of the battery. you know, the feet on the ground, the contact with the earth, as well as the sensation of the head. Don't let the head go into becoming a taxi somewhere. Just be present. Observe your current experience. Resist the loop. Don't think about it. Don't just short circuit that and bring all your energy into being aware, being mindful of the totality of the now. You may notice feelings in the body, sensations. Just welcome and allow. Yeah, that's how it feels when we are churning on all of these thoughts. Yeah. And so use this loop of spiritual sleep to wake you up more often. You know, a side exercise would be to count each time you catch yourself in a day. And it's very important not to judge yourself, not to be upset with yourself, not to have any secondary negativity with yourself. God damn it, I'm thinking about this again. That is not useful. That is not consciousness work. You know it's going to come because that's what we're doing. Yeah, comes, you catch it, harness all your power into the now, and stay with the two poles of the battery. You know, aware of the body, aware of the head, aware of sounds of the breeze. Yeah. Also, there are some of us, we have some recurring thoughts that are actually, it's about the shitty situation. It's something that's difficult, it's unpleasant, and the mind keeps going there to seemingly solve it. And actually the aim of this is to solve it. If we are in an unwanted, bad situation that we want, you know, that we are in it, basically, whenever possible, we want to change that situation so that it's in a more, we are in an environment that's more conducive for inner peace and connection and stability, and it's not stressful. Yeah, so that thinking about that or emoting on that unwanted situation, how we don't like it, it has ultimately the function to alert us that something is off and to hopefully find another situation, change it. However, often we can't do it. Life is complex. So however, looping about how unpleasant it is to be with this person, to live with this person, to be in this house, to be looping in it, just adds extra suffering. We have extra. Now we are carrying it. You know, we are in this state of identification. You know, basic identification with velcro thought. Even in that case like that, when the thoughts are somehow legitimate and there's some truth in it, if we spend time in all of that, actually we are into this state of dissatisfaction, state of it's not possible, state of reactive negativity, and then that doesn't have the power to change, and we are just we are leaking energy. Actually, it's a lot of the God-given energy, nature-given energy designed to become more conscious, to be more awake, is spent in this leaking of psychic associations uselessly. Yeah. So I recommend this exercise for 2 weeks. Now, what is worth saying that this is more like the conscious work. You know, these things come up and we try to not okay it, to not tolerate it, to notice as they come, and use this to reaffirm presence. Yeah. However, a lot of this looping or not good enough and various things like that, whatever that is, it has deeper roots in the body, is probably connected to our subconscious patterning and pain body. So it is useful to also do some other type of work with this kind of thoughts. So I will put here a guided psychosomatic processing, which is meant to help you loosen up the roots of that obsessing. Yeah. So let's say, yeah, take whatever you have, you know, whatever that is, your difficult subject, thinking about this, thinking about that. Yeah. You can use this and put the guided psychosomatic processing and follow the instructions. but use, process this item. And now we are going to the subconscious aspects of it. So because they are very likely, there's a lot of subconscious utility by thinking about it. There's all kind of other subconscious dogs, as Gurdjieff would talk about. There are some kind of other pain body linked to it, and the obsessing, recurring thoughts that come up in the mind, they are fueled from there. So it's useful to bring awareness to the roots and process some of that. That will actually diminish the charge, and then you can continue catching the residual in the conscious mind. So don't let this be another YouTube video that we consume, just knowledge, just thinking about this. Make it practical, practical. And choose now. What is that? I don't know. Maybe I just broke up with someone and I'm going through a period of separation. I don't know. And there's a tendency to keep thinking about that person. It's legitimate, but use that. Okay, not going to, whenever thoughts about this person or what I'm going to do or whatever come up, again, use it as this velcro, hot potato, do the practice. Of course, you may have feelings. With the feelings, you don't want to get rid of them. You just want to allow them and breathe through them, but also know experientially that you are much more than these feelings. You are this presence in which these feelings come and go. To do this exercise, I'm recommending now, you won't be able to do it if you don't do your consciousness martial arts exercise. You need to practice. We are weak. We have weak spiritual muscles, many of us. So your 10, 15-minute presence practice in the morning, your study of the workbooks, your bringing awareness to everyday life and walking and all the other exercises I share here, this is very useful. All right, let me know how it goes and take it for 2 weeks. All right, ciao.